sure this is right. Photo shoot set. What's going on, fam, cousins, and kinfolk? How we doing today? How are we doing? As our room fills up, I am so excited to have you guys joining us today for Making the Case. We got folks up in here that are here to show nothing but love and support for Ashley. Thank you guys so much for joining us. As our room fills up, let me introduce myself. My name is Anthony. I'm the founder of Becoming JD, where our goal, our purpose is to help get more brown and black folks in law school because we know that we are needed, and also we know that you guys are capable. And I'm excited to have you guys. Of course, I'm holding it down over here in Missouri, Midwest. So let me know as our room fills up, where are you watching our session from? We got Texas in the house. What's up? We got Mississippi, Alabama in the house. What's up? And so as our room fills up, I'm so excited as our tribe continues to grow. I've already, of course, right now, we got ATL in the house. Thank you, Callie. I'm so happy for all of the people who are also doing the mini law school at Colorado Mini Law School, which, of course, all of our people in our tribe have been able to do for free $99. So thank you guys also for joining us. I've shared those who are in their second week of class. Kudos to you guys who are doing your second week at Colorado Mini Law School. We got Cali, we got Louisiana, the boot, Florida. What's going on, you guys? Maine, Mississippi, North Carolina. I love it. I'm so excited. We got the University of Toledo. What's up? As our room fills up, I'm so excited, you guys. Our community continues to grow as we continue to be able to help more people get into law school. I know this week we got about 6 more people into law school and got an amazing young lady, Ebony, into a pre-law pipeline program at Houston. So I'm excited. Anytime you guys wins, I want to celebrate those wins for you. We got UGA in the house. What's going on? Toledo, what's up? And so I'll go ahead and let you guys know typically how our show goes is, of course, we have a guest come on every week. And you guys, we've been blessed to have some amazing guests. If you want to catch up on some of the episodes, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch some of the amazing guests that we've had come on in the past. And we have an amazing guest coming on. What's going on, Simply Tina? What's going on, Gracefully Keen? We have an amazing guest coming on for you guys today. I know that oftentimes during this journey at times, man, it could be hard. It could be hard, man. A lot of people are making tough choices. I just got text messages from some people saying, you know what, I'm just going to apply next year. Other people telling me, I'm just going to keep on fighting through. And so oftentimes it's a tough challenge that a lot of us are dealing with right now in regards to how to check on ourselves to see what it is that we need to do to be our best versions of ourselves. And so wherever you are in that journey, either you studying for the bar, either you studying for the LSAT, either you waiting for law schools to respond to you, I just want to let you know that I'm here for you, I'm praying for you, and I'm rooting for you. And I'm always a DM away. I know at times during this journey, things can seem as if you're by yourself. And I'm just here to let you know we have an amazing community that's here to support you, win with you, and help you, celebrate you, and also help you along that way. So feel free to pull up. Of course, you guys, if you don't know, we're definitely doing it big in the LSAT Ain't Got Nothing on Me study group. They doing it big, linking up, studying. So go ahead and pull up to that. Also, JD Loading. That's also something where law students are at, and also dismissed but not done. Both of those are all groups that you guys could be able to join. It's free $99, links in the bio, all to provide you guys with a community of support from people who look like you for people who look like you. So you have an amazing community. So what's going on, Malik? What's going on? What's going on, Shayna? And so as our room fills up, one of the things I always tell you guys is no matter where you are, wherever you are in your journey, I want to make sure that you're able to come away from our sessions feeling like you got something. So I don't like just be talking at no screen like I'm doing right now. So I want you guys to fill my chat box up with questions, because I want to make sure that wherever you are in your process, that you're going to get some clear answers in regards to what you need to do next. Thank you, gorgeous Gloria, for joining us. Gracefully Ken from the National Black Students Association, the National Black Law Students Association. Absolutely. I've been sharing. One of the things I want you guys to understand is I drop a lot of tea and opportunities for you guys in my stories. So make sure you go in my stories about different programmers. I know the National Black Law Students Association is doing a lot of events. Go to the stories. Go and link up. Cleo's doing a lot of events. Most of these are free 99. Go there. Check them out. Also, we've been able to also post a lot of different stories from some amazing other people who are also in the process of applying to law school, who are here to help and support you on that journey. So make sure you guys check out the stories, and also don't just scroll. Take screenshots, save, and apply, okay? Because I want to see you guys win. But without further ado, let me show you and go ahead and get y'all. See, we got Sin Sweet Tasty Cupcakes. Can I get a cupcake? What's going on, Latoya? What's going on, Better Callie? Hey, I know waiting the next cycle can be a great option, but I want to share my experience. I applied with the April LSAT and got into 23 law schools and got 8 full ride scholarships. Fam, send me a DM. We'll get you on here to share your experience, because we want other people to be able to mirror that experience so they can be able to get those same successes. So that's definitely something I'll be more than happy to be able to open our platform for you to be able to share. But let's get Ashley on here. There we go. Callie Stew, I'm scared about the logic games, section games. Yeah, and I'll tell you this, as we wait for our speaker to come on, I know oftentimes there can be a bit of a worry or concern when it comes to, changes coming towards the LSAT. But also be able to be aware of that, the logic games is oftentimes has been the section that you're able to improve on the most. And so you have to be able to be honest with yourself. And sometimes one of the hardest things to have to do is say, I have to wait. Let's go ahead and get this on. All right. Let's see here. Where we at? She said it expired. We're going to make it happen. Take me down. Let's get it. All right. We're going to hit it again. Let me try. Invite and see if that works. And so as we're getting this situation resolved, let's see here. So accept. I'm accepting the request, and I'm waiting on my screen to be. All right, accept again. Unable to join. Okay. Let's see. All right. So we're still having some technical difficulties, but there we go. Without further ado, here we go. What's up, sis? How we doing?
Hey, Anthony. How you doing tonight?
I am blessed, man. I was about to say, man, against all odds, we gonna make it, man. Technology trying, but we still gonna win.
They don't know that we will.
They don't know how we build.
Let me tell you, I had a whole computer crash in the middle of an exam. You get up and go find another computer and keep it pushing. So,
hey, yo,
you gotta make it do what it do.
Hey, and so without further ado, let's do the professional opening. So without further ado, you guys, I want to let you guys in. I want to introduce you guys to one of one, the amazing attorney Ashley. Sis is doing the damn thing, and she was blessing so many people in the comments, providing tips and motivations. And I was like, man, we got to get her on live. And you know what? She's here, and I'm just excited because you guys, like I said in the post, less than 1% of Black women are prosecutors. And y'all looking at a unicorn right here. And I already got a preview of the story that she's about to tell. So you know what I'm saying. We weren't going to go to church, but y'all, we about to go to church, y'all, like for real. And so I want you guys, anybody out there, you guys, who's going through situations where you're having issues of self-doubt, if you're starting to think that maybe I should quit, man, y'all better tune in and lock into this. because this sister's gonna have a story for you that's amazing. So I'm just gonna shut up and I'm gonna act like I heard it for the first time, some of it, because I want you guys to understand that you guys can be lawyers, y'all. Y'all can. I don't care what your LSAT score is, man. Y'all could do this. I'm gonna shut up. Go ahead, talk to him, sis. Talk to him.
Hi, everybody. Future attorneys. Future attorneys. I'm attorney Ashley Nash. I'm a prosecutor for the Montgomery County District Attorney's Office. A lot of people automatically assume that I do criminal law. I do not. While that may be the end game, right now, I'm trusting the process and remembering that that nothing is wasted. And that is what my presiding judge, Judge Harwick, always says: is that nothing is wasted. Everything that you do, you can use it to learn. You can learn to use it for something else. And so, currently, I am a Title IV attorney contracted with the Department of Human Resources. So we help get child support, which is a little fun because the drama. But we get we obtain child support. We do contempt hearings if they're not paying. We lock them up sometimes. We get these parents some money. And so it's really been fun. But we're not really here to talk about that because that's not the best part. So this is the first thing I want to show y'all. I have it pinned on my wall. I met someone, and this is what he put on his wall. It says Commissioner Ashley T. Nash, Jeremiah 29:11, Galatians 6:9. Does Ashley want to be commissioner? Not necessarily. Ashley wants to be a district attorney one day. However, this is what he told me he saw for me. This is what he told he saw for me. And as I studied for the bar exam, this sat in my house at my desk, and it also sat in his. So let me say this. Okay. Many of y'all feel like maybe you can't do it, maybe it's too hard, maybe it's a struggle. All of that self-doubt that you have, take that and turn it into something positive. Or just throw it completely out and have a whole new thought. I took the LSAT 3 times.
Hold on. You took the LSAT 3 times?
Three
Hold on.
times.
I thought, man, we do retakes. That means you can't get into law school. You mean you can take it multiple times, get
Multiple
into law
times.
school, and somehow be in the prosecutor's office?
That indeed.
Sway,
So
how?
not only,
Sway, how that work?
let's take it all the way back to undergrad. I've known since I was 12 that I wanted to be an attorney. I've known since I was 12 that I wanted to be a prosecutor. I've known since I was 12 that I wanted to be district attorney one day. And that just came from Law and Order SVU. That's how it started with Casey Novak. And as life happened, because lives, it became bigger. It really became a passion. I love to help people. In school, major in anything. You do not have to do political science. You do not have to do criminal justice. You don't have to do history. English would probably be great, but you don't have to do that either. Be well-rounded, because in all actuality, that's what they want. They want someone that is well-rounded, because when you become an attorney, you are pulling from all experiences of your life. And if you're a history guru, that's gonna help. If you're an English guru and you're good at writing, that's definitely going to help, and you're definitely going to get paid for it. Even if you do fine arts, you'd be surprised the type of cases that you get where you might know somebody that you can call and get particular information that can help you with a case. That means that it was worth it. I graduated with a 3.5 GPA. This is just always what I wanted to do. Will Smith said so many years ago, Plan B distracts from Plan A. Therefore, I've only had a plan A.
Hold on. Say that one more time. Nakia, did you hear that? I want you to say it one. I call people out of all love, so they know it's all love. Say that again, what you just said.
Plan B distracts from Plan A. So what that means is there is no Plan B. You have one plan, and that's to become an attorney, and that's it. There is no going to paralegal school to get your certificate because you want to have a backup plan in case it doesn't work. I said I wanted to do that, and you know what my judge told me? He said, "No, ma'am." He said, "No, ma'am. That's not the plan. The plan is to get into law school and become an attorney, and that's all that you're gonna do." Now, don't get me wrong. Definitely pad your resume, because sometimes those things help, especially if you need it. I actually thought that I was one of the ones that needed it. And I still got accepted into law school. I still passed the bar exam. I still graduated. I still passed the bar exam, and I still got me a job. So here
And
we
so,
are.
yo, like, I want to take them behind the scenes because, they see you. And oftentimes, for so many of us, initially, like, we saw lawyers as people on a perch. It's like, dang, they smarter than me because, I had to retake it, or because I experienced some challenges, that must mean I can't do that. And so me and you,
And
of course, we done already linked up before. So I want you to tell them, like, about your grind.
Anthony, I want you to keep talking because I want y'all to see this. Right now, what y'all are looking at now, obviously I'm at home, at my home office. But what you see right now, this is how I present myself at work. But let me let y'all know how regular I am. But go ahead, ask your question one more time, please.
But also, this is a perfect example, right? Because actually, me and Ashley talked about this earlier today. And what it comes down to a lot of times is you guys have to understand that you have to be your true, authentic self all the time. And understand that whatever school that you apply to, fam, if you can't be you, then you don't want to be there. Now, this Ashley that y'all seeing right now, this is the Ashley that I was chopping it up with on the phone earlier today. And understand this, it also is the same Ashley who went hard. Because I want you to explain to them, Ashley, like, because, we got that comfortable hustling when we trying to get acceptance. Put them on game in regards to the hustle and grind that you did, in regards to not just getting the acceptance, but also, when you had some challenges in law school. Because people just going to think, oh, man, I ain't like Ashley. Ashley ain't gonna understand because I got a little harder than her because she had everything gift wrapped for her. So
Let me say this. No one has had it harder than me. No one has had it harder than me. I want y'all to take heed of this shirt. It's backwards for y'all, but it says beating all the
mm.
odds. That's what the shirt says from BOSSA, the Black Law Student Association. Right here. This is one of our older shirts. Beating the odds. I still wear this because even as an attorney, I still have to beat the odds. You get me?
They don't
Okay.
stop.
It doesn't stop. So, getting into law school, I had 3.5 GPA. A took the LSAT 3 times. Had a 144, I believe, is what I had. Now back in the day, there used to be I've been looking for the website for the last 2 weeks. There used to be a website that you could that like all as long as all the LSAT people go and like utilize it, you're able to see who's been accepted, what their score was, what their GPA was. I'm still looking for it. When I find it, I will make sure that y'all have it because it was God sent for me. But I applied to maybe 6 schools. I applied to 6 schools, and a 144 and a 3.5 aren't that high. I was already a professional student. So
Right.
it wasn't like I had a whole bunch of work stuff going for me. I interned with Mr. Judge Gaines here in Montgomery County my senior year,
Hold up, hold up,
and
hold up. You got to put them on the hustle of how you got that. Because I want you guys to understand, if you want something, it ain't gonna be gift wrapped to you. I saw on the Breakfast Club video, they had Takara and one of the other wives on there, and what they
Eva
talked
Pick
about.
Eva Pickford, they talked about how they finessed their way on through. They weren't invited to the callback, but you know what they did? They showed up and said, I'm supposed to be on that list, and look at them now. 1-1.
If you want something, ain't nobody gonna gift you nothing.
You fake
And
it till you
so
make
I
it.
want, and so when you told me that story, I was like, sis, gotta tell him. So listen, man, I want y'all to understand. If you want a clerkship with a judge, you don't have to wait till you gotta go to law school. You don't have to be a part of a certain fraternity or sorority. No this, no either way.
I'm just me.
Tell them what you gotta do. Tell them
In,
what you do, sis. Tell them what
in
you
the
did.
in the words of Meek Mill, because I'm pretty sure it's him. Closed mouths don't get fed. Closed mouths don't get fed. And it and let me tell y'all, it was really
Mm-hmm.
so simple. Now don't get me wrong. I went to school with someone. And she had told me she interned for a judge, and I was like, oh, what judge? And she told me it was Judge Gaines, and I was like, oh, can you give me a number? She literally just gave me a number, and I called. I called and asked, and he said, send me your resume. in your reference sheet. And I said, okay. And just because I'm me and I feel like you guys can see the personality a little bit, I said, well, I need to put a face to a name. I do that with every job interview. Anytime I'm trying to get something, I need you to put a face to a name. Because Ashley Nash, Ashley is one of the most common girl names in the world. I need you to know this is the Ashley. And so I was going through Montgomery and I said, let me get my bougie cotton paper that somebody gifted to me and printed off my resume in color. I did, and took it on up there. And I said, hey, I knocked on the door and was like, hey, is Judge Gaines here? I just wanted to drop off my resume. And it was like, yeah, he's here, but he's busy. And I was actually shocked. He ended up coming out of his office. And I said, hi, Judge Gaines. I'm Ashley Nash. I wanted to see if I could get an internship. I want to be a lawyer one day. And let me say this. If y'all already know what type of attorney y'all want to be and you're actually passionate about it and you don't think you're going to change it and you know exactly what you want to do with your life, tell people. Because let me tell you, the tongue is powerful. It ain't in the Bible. You have to manifest the things that you want.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell y'all, out of all the things that I manifest, I never actually manifest passing the bar exam. I only manifest graduating from law school and becoming an attorney. I missed a key step, and that's probably why I struggle with this a little bit. But you guys have to say what y'all want, because I can tell y'all, everybody who knows Ashley T. Nash, they'll tell you Ashley gonna be a DA one day. She want to be a prosecutor. If I had become anything else, everybody would be confused.
Mm-hmm.
But all I did was ask. And when I asked, I handed him my stuff. He liked that I used to work at Chick-fil-A as my first job. I said, my pleasure. And he was like, oh my God. And so because of that, he said, well, let me set you up an interview and then you can come in, we can have an interview, and then I'll let you know. I had my interview and got it. And I worked for him for a full year. Just that
And
simple.
what was one of your letters of recommendation for law school?
That judge.
And all she did was make a call, you guys.
And and I also want to say this. I actually don't think I told Andrew this. My second letter of recommendation was an actual district attorney that I did. I'm just gonna be completely real with y'all. I did not actually know him. But here's the thing. I had a professor. His name was Professor Fulmer. He ended up being an attorney. He was an attorney teaching one of my legal studies classes. And I was working at Santa Fe, and I sat some Fulmers down, and you just get to chatting with people. And I said, yeah, I want to go to law school. I'm trying to get ready for that. And he said, oh, I'm a district attorney down here. And I said, what's your name? And he said, I think his name was John Fulmer. And I said, oh, are you related to Matt Fulmer? That's my professor. And he said, yeah, that's my brother. Connection. All because I keep running my mouth about what I want to do. Connection. And he said, oh yeah, he said, tell Matt to link us up, and I would love to write you a recommendation letter.
Wow.
Just because he liked my personality, and he wrote one.
And so I want you guys to be able to understand the value of literally putting yourself out there and outside of your comfort zone. This is oftentimes when people say, well, how did this person get in? I got the same score. Well, that's because also she had somebody vouching for her who also had some credibility to their name. But that's not something y'all can't get. Y'all can get that too. Because what's the question I asked you, Ashley? How much it costs to go to court? How much it costs?
Free 99.
And
Free
also,
99.
you told me about like all the connections you got when you used to go to court.
I can tell you, clerking with the judge, I was just an intern. It wasn't like honestly speaking. Now it sounds good. It sounds good on my resume, but honestly speaking, I wasn't doing nothing that any old regular person can't do. To be completely honest, I was just an undergrad. I met every attorney that he spoke to. If you called his office, you had to talk to me. If you wanted to get on his calendar, you had to talk to me. When the attorneys would for like criminal court, before the court, all the attorneys huddle in one room and they pretty much go over the docket to kind of get an idea of how things are gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
I got introduced to everybody. I had been there so long. When I got to law school, they was like, Ashley, are you at the DA's office yet? And I'm like, no, I just got in law school. And he was like, dang, we thought that you would have graduated already. I was like, y'all, I just started. I haven't even, I was like, I haven't graduated yet. And so when I did graduate and when I did get the job, even the deputies in the courthouse knew who I was. They were excited because I had finally made it because they had seen me all the way back from 2016. And
And
then,
again, for you guys
go ahead.
just joining us, we're on live with attorney Ashley, prosecutor, one of one, dropping gems, telling you guys to move and act fearlessly, because literally moving and acting fearlessly is going to open up the doors of opportunities for you. Sometimes those doors is what's going to help you get into law school, because your LSAT score is not really who you are. It's just one of many tools. And you have control of so many other things. You have control of who advocates for you. You have control over what you write. Go ahead, sis. Put them on game on what you wrote. Tell them how you wrote. Kept it 100.
Hold on before we get, well, no, let's talk about what we wrote. Let's do it in order. Okay. I didn't know what to write about. Let me tell y'all, I'm a kid that came from the suburbs, and please don't take this the wrong way. Some people come from the hood and like they really got a story to tell, and it really is always a good story, no lie. I didn't have that good story. I had nothing that really happened to me. I didn't know what I was gonna write about, but I could tell you this: I always have put the pressure on myself because I have a high standard. Um, my dad, he's retired law enforcement. My mom is retired law enforcement and military. And my dad always told me, he used to give me this talk about being a Nash. It was so important that I was a Nash. And he always said, you think you better than everybody? Or he would always say, he was like, you don't think that you're better than everybody, but you are, because you're a Nash. Nobody can do what you do. Like, he's just real cocky, but he pumped me all the way up. And even though that's not really who I am, it put pressure on me because I said, I'm a Nash. I cannot fail. And so the pressure from my dad, the pressure from my mom, just in the sense of, I know I'm book smart. I know I got good common sense. She made decent money, so I mean I got to make something
Right?
out of myself because she not gonna float me for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Then I had my big I got my big sister Erica Harthorne. My sister's just intelligent. Like, I can tell you, even me as an attorney, I still think she's smarter than me. If my sister go to law school right now and become an attorney, she could probably beat me in court. Now she not gonna outwork me because we neck and neck. But that's my big sister, and I look up to her. It's always, she just got her master's, and now I feel like, dang, you got your master's and I got my JD. I gotta go get my master's so I can one up you, like, so I can just have 3 degrees. And so I say all that to say, this is what my paper was. My paper was, you take a piece of coal, you put it under in a whole bunch of pressure. Coal and pressure makes a diamond. Every school that I applied to, I wanted those particular schools to be the jeweler to smooth out my diamond to make me the attorney I needed to be. And and I will say this, I can't even say I just pulled that out of my butt. I'm sure I didn't. Um, I'm pretty sure I remember reading a lot of people's stuff and just kind of seeing how their papers flowed off of Google. The thing about it is that as an attorney, to be a good attorney, a damn good attorney, you got to do the work.
Say that again.
And doing the work, to be a damn good attorney, you have to do the work. The work doesn't start when you become the attorney. The work doesn't start when you get to law school. The work starts while you're studying for the LSAT, while you're trying to graduate undergrad school, and while you're writing your papers and making your applications as best you can. That's where the work starts. Because what you guys will find out is, when you work it all the way through, when y'all get to the end, and let me show y'all, because I haven't even framed it yet. When y'all make it to the end and you get this, I got chills just holding this up. When you make it to the end, all that hard work was worth it. Nobody's gonna be able to take this away because you did that.
Y'all
And
hear
the thing about it is that even through all the struggle, which I haven't even begun to tell y'all about the struggle, any door that closed, it was meant to close. We actually talked about this in church the other day. Um, God's already set up y'all life. And let me say this: if y'all aren't Christians or whatever you believe, I'm all for that. Just who I believe is, I just believe in God, so we just gonna go with that. Help it relate to whoever it is that y'all believe in, because that's really how I mean it. God made your life before He even put you in your mama's womb. He knew what your life was gonna be, and in order for you to get to, in order for you to live out the purpose that He has for you, you have to go through certain things. You have to learn certain lessons so that you can be better, so that when you get to what your purpose is, you're actually capable. And when storms come and hit you, don't none of that shit phase
You
you.
got that, Alex? Hold on. Say that again. When storms come and hit you, say that again.
It don't phase you. You just keep going. You keep it pushing. That's so God already knows. So let me say this. If being an attorney is really what you want to do and it's really what's in your heart, on this day, January 24th, 2024, it's already done. You need to go ahead and write it down. I can't tell you how many times in my entire life I wrote Ashley Taylor Nash Esquire. It's on every piece of daggone paper. When I was in law school, they was tired of me writing. I used to write it on the board. Okay? The people was gonna know. So I just say that to say, know who you are. Know who you are. Nobody can sell you better than you. Um, yeah, I had those two recommendations. Yes, I wrote what sounded like a really great paper. I wasn't the best writer. You know who read over my paper? 6 people. You know how many times I wrote my paper? I wrote my paper at least 10 times before I came up with the good idea that I just told y'all about.
And I want you to, what's also important for you guys out there who are working on your essays, wherever you are in the process, you have to be open for criticism. You have to be open for change, understanding that what people are saying is to build you, to grow you, to help you be the best version of yourself. Alexandra said, "Amen."
Put
I
it
stopped
in that
writing my
Bible.
stopped writing my name, but I'm starting back tonight. Amen, man. Amen. And so I want us now, because people are like, well, so she got in, and it was easy for her.
No, we can't get there yet.
Oh
So
yeah, you're right.
let
We
me
got some more stuff. Go
let
ahead.
me
Go ahead.
say this before you get there. Those two recommendation letters, yeah, I'm sure it did. I'm sure it did something. I'm sure it did a whole lot actually. But that wasn't everything, because I got accepted towards the last minute. I started to get nervous. And so, at least for the school that I went to, I sent a letter of continued interest. Let me tell y'all, the lady name was Miss Janie that was working there. She retired after my first year. Miss Janie was amazing. Miss Janie knew who I was when I called. When I got to school on the first day, Miss Janie knew it was me. I went to the school. I did a tour. You talk to the students, because let me tell y'all,
One more game.
on on some on some boards, I actually found this out. On some voting boards, some of the people on those boards may be students. At my school, when I went, I know for a fact there were 2 students that were on the voting board, along with the professors. The admissions person, they may or may not have a vote, but when you need somebody, you know how, I can't remember what the saying is, but when you have great people who put your name in rooms that your feet have not yet been into, your admissions person. That's who that is. The students at the school, that's who that is, because the students talk to the professors. The admissions person, they're passing out all the booklets, all the applications to the people that get the vote. They're gonna drop some tea on you. They will. If they don't like talking to you, they might say that. If they love talking to you, if you're so sweet, if you always want to know information, if you can make them feel like through the phone that you really want to be there because it's going to change your life and you want to change this community for the better, somebody's going to say it on your behalf. And you just don't know. It may be that one thing that gets you in. And I can tell y'all, honest to God, I really do think that I've never asked her, but I really do think that Miss Janie actually said something to them,
Yeah.
because I called and called and called. And let me tell y'all, I cried on the phone to this woman, and I told her, I said, I know I'm supposed to be an attorney. I need these people to know that BS score that I got on the LSAT is not gonna stop me, because no matter what I face, and I think I actually put this in my personal statement, no matter who tells me no, I'm gonna get back up and make them tell me yes.
Say that one more time, sis.
No matter who tells me no, I'm gonna get back up and make them tell me yes. If that's really where you want to be, you make them tell you yes. You let them know that no is not an option for you. I called them and told them that. Because why? I needed to get into law school. I needed to make it happen. Because at the end of the day, you don't get me wrong, the law school you pick, it matters. Sometimes it matters. Depending on what kind of law you want to do, the area you want to be in, it matters. But let me be for real. I'm just gonna be for real. Nobody's asking me when I'm in court. The judge don't say, "Oh, what law school did you go to?" Nobody's asking that. But I can tell you this: I got the Juris Doctorate. And the funny thing is that I actually wanted to go to Mississippi College because they specialize in public service, and they have a certificate for you to a certificate for you to be able to study directly into what you want to do. And the only reason why I didn't pick the school was because I sat down and I said, oh man, but is it a good enough school? That's really what I was thinking about.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, there was no reason why I shouldn't have applied, because I didn't even apply. But I should have, because I knew exactly what I wanted to do. And so I could have learned exactly what I wanted to do in class. Because some of those classes like trial ad, those classes help you. I walked out of law school and became a paralegal for an attorney that Katie O'Malley, she used to look over my shoulder, and I used to tell her, I can't get my work done with you doing this. Can you trust that I'm gonna do it? She loves me. The woman loves me to this day. And she told me, she said she's never met somebody who handles her cases in the same manner that she handles her cases, because she's type A and I'm type A. I cared just as much as she did.
Wow. And so I hope you guys are able to get the tea here. You have to learn how to advocate for yourself. You can't be scurry in this game. Am I right? You cannot
be right.
Scary.
Cannot be scared.
Because if you're going to be scared, somebody else is going to take your seat. It ain't got nothing to do with intelligence, intellect. It comes down to who wants it more. Don't be afraid to make these calls.
Alexandria, let me say this. It being late in the game, let me be honest with y'all. The school that I actually went to, Faulkner University or Thomas Good Jones School of Law. That's where I went. I applied late. I'm pretty sure that I applied in like March. I got accepted, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was July 24th, because I came down here to Alabama to visit my boyfriend and his family. And that was when I found out. And I had lost all my marbles because I was going to law school. So don't get me wrong, you want to apply early, because when you apply early, there's more seats, scholarships matter, that kind of thing. But let me tell you this. Let me caveat, let me say this. I did not have any debt coming from undergrad because I've been blessed. Let me just say that. Law school, I have debt. And you know what I realized? Everybody and their mama got debt.
Yeah.
Are you gonna let some debt stop you from becoming what you want to be in life? The answer should be no. For anybody, I mean, if you're still asking yourself, we need to have another talk. The answer should be no. Don't get me wrong. I want y'all to have scholarships. I don't want y'all to be $200,000 in debt or $178,000 like I am. I don't want y'all to have that kind of debt. However, that's not anything to keep you from going when you know what you want to do, because 80% of the world has student debt and they paying it off. I mean, and hell, Biden might help us, and we might not have to do that.
I mean, and
we're gonna pray on it.
Hey, I mean, maybe you get him to invite. Maybe you can invite him to your house, and he'll, you can get a deal done. Like your boy did this past weekend.
Now, Anthony, talk it up now, because I tell people all the time, when I say I'm gonna do something and then it magically happens.
Hey man,
they gonna be surprised.
I'm all here for it. But I want you guys to be able to understand literally how much power, influence that you have over this process. Yes, like Alex said, yeah, deadlines are what they are. But if you're going to advocate for yourself, you're going to miss out on a lot of opportunities if you're just waiting for the perfect time, everything has to be perfect, the date, the weather, because that's never going to happen.
Never.
The most ideal situations do not exist. You have to make the situation yours. There's other people who want the same dream as you, and I'm sure when Ashley got into law school, somebody else catches out. Somebody else with higher LSAT scores, man, didn't get in, but they saw something in Ashley and said, "Oh, she got that life."
I can tell y'all, I honestly think that I was one of the lowest LSAT scores in my class, and it was only because I asked and I told people. Now, granted, depending on what school you go to, you don't want to do that. But that was something I just kind of wanted to know, and I had said what I found. Let me say this: this is another tidbit that I found out. Not sure if they still do it, but they did it when I was there. I just graduated in 2020. You have section A and you have section B. If I was a 144 in section B, there was at least another 144 in section A. We each had an equivalence
So
in the opposite section. So what that tells me is that you got at least two spots to be at the bottom. But the thing about it is that once you get in, nobody's asking, "Oh, what was your LSAT score? Did you get a scholarship?" I mean, nosy people ask, but we don't mind them. Nobody really cares because you know why? The cream of the crop is who gets into law school. Period. Everybody who gets into law school is the cream of the crop from the school that they came
right,
from. You know why? Because law school is not easy to get into and it ain't for everybody. The goal is to get in and
and
stay in and
they just
graduate.
handing out acceptances because they need you to get through for the sake of their own accreditation. And so
Yes.
I hope you guys are understanding, man. Your LSAT is what it is. I think literally, Ashley, I think the last three guests that we've had, their LSAT scores were below 150.
Yeah, they were. I watched.
And
And I loved it.
and what are they
I'm
doing?
not
And what are
they're
y'all
all
doing?
attorneys.
And it
We're all
just comes down to you
licensed.
guys advocating for yourself. And so let's keep it up. We also talked about some of the other things that we had to go through. And, for those out there who are in law school, because we have people who follow us who are in law school who may not have gotten the scores that they wanted this semester. I know some people got dismissed this semester. What are some words of wisdom from your life? Hold on. So you're saying you got dismissed and you still got the law school and you also became a houseway? Houseway? Hold on. Put us on game. Let us know.
Okay. I'm trying to do this story like quickly because it can always be a little long. Okay. Hard worker. I feel like y'all gathering that through the screen. Okay, so I'm the type of person that I like to work until I get it done. That's just me. That's who I am. I like to have great product. I come from making AB honor roll. Again, a 3.5 GPA, so a C and lower. It's just not me. First semester, every day with my study group, it was two of us, me, Michael, and Noel, studying in the library, in the classrooms every day. When I tell you studying every day till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, simply because you might have 60 to 80 pages to read for each class, and you might have 3 classes on one day, 2 classes on the other, or 3 and 3 or whatever. So multiply that times 60 and see how many pages you got to read.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so just imagine being tired all the
Yeah,
time, but barely getting sleep, but having to read and actually having to brief, hand brief. I did not type because I'm a better writer. I memorize things by writing,
me too.
so I had to write everything out. It took a long time. Half the time you're not understanding the cases, so you gotta understand because if somebody asks you a question, that Socratic method, you want to make sure that you know what you're talking about. In reality, who cares if you look dumb? Who cares if you sound dumb? Everybody sounds dumb. Everybody looks dumb. Everybody feels dumb. You know why? Because nobody else knows what's going on in class, just like you don't know what's going on in class. So when you get to law school, if you're already in law school and this is your first year, please don't feel like, oh, I don't want to ask this question. I'm gonna look stupid. Other people got the same question. The smartest person in the class got the same question, and they just waiting on somebody else to ask it. So anywho, get through the first semester, didn't do good. When I say didn't do good, I mean I made a D in torts, and I taught torts to my study partner.
Yep.
Who got a B?
Yeah.
Who got a B plus? And let me say that we'll talk about this towards the end, but let me say this: at the end of that first semester, my professor couldn't understand why I didn't do good in torts because I talked a lot. I always had something to say. It was clear that I understood. I knew how everything was supposed to go. I knew the answers. She sat me down when I came back from Christmas break, and excuse me, and she we kind of just talked about everything we learned in class. Lo and behold, really what she did was she went over the whole exam with me. And she said, actually, based off of what you just told me, she said, you probably would have made a B in this class had you actually said half of
Yeah.
what you said to me in this office. And she said, actually, I think you have ADHD. I said, what? Not anything. Y'all, my uncle said I better speak online. That tells me they're watching. Anywho, she told me she thought I had ADHD. So at that point, it's a matter of do I have time to go and get that, or go and figure that out, or do I prepare for class? I didn't have time. I was scared, and so I prepared for class. We'll talk about that at the end. So did not do good. Michael, study partner, somebody who motivated me out of this world. He actually changed the way I motivate myself. He had sickle cell, and that year Alabama had bad snow. He ended up not having any heat in his apartment. We were law students trying to figure out how we were going to sue the apartment complex. Look at that. Anywho, February 1st, he passed away from sickle cell. I've had people pass away in my life. But he was probably one of the closest only because I seen him every day and we had the same type of struggle. And so that was I believe that was February 2018. Um Now we started second semester already. Here I am making sure I take good notes so that when he comes back, he got something to look at and he can pick up where he left off. I ended up making all B's. We found out he passed. We had his funeral. I ended up making all B's that semester. But before I made those all B's, November 3rd, 2018, my boyfriend was murdered. Boyfriend of 4 years was murdered. How God works. He died November 3rd. I acted a whole ass the days following. I'm just gonna be real, the days following. And our exams started the last week of November, right after Thanksgiving. So imagine, I call his mother my mother-in-law. So imagine me driving 45 minutes every day, staying at her house because I don't want to stay at mine. 45 minutes every day, staying at her house. That's the only place I want to be. I didn't study. I didn't pick up a book. I did absolutely nothing. When those exams came around, by the grace of God, I guess, I don't know, and because that's really what it is, the grace of God, and because they say faith without work is dead, I paid attention all semester and I made good notes all semester. That's what I was relying on. I came out with all B's, and I even had some B pluses. And that showed me, Ashley, you're capable. Ashley, you can do this. For me to have not studied at all and still came out with the B's and the B pluses that I had, that shows me that I could do it. However, there wasn't enough. Our GPA started at a 2.3, and it started at the time. At the time, it doesn't start there now, but at the time, it started at a 2.3. I ended my first year of law school with a 1.67. Again, the grace of God, faith, manifestation, whatever it is that you want to call it. What I needed to apply to the second chance program, because Faulkner has a second chance program in case you mess up the first year, a 1.67 on the dot was what I had. And then to make things even better, that year we voted a professor best professor of the year. Because we voted him best professor of the year, he became dean of students. He was my professor. I was the only class that he taught civil procedure to, which was actually one of my favorite classes. He's written every recommendation for me everywhere I have went. He was the professor, the dean that made the determination of whether or not I stayed or left. I was in the middle of a summer class when I found out I got academically dismissed. I was an intern for the DA's office that I work at now when I found out I was academically dismissed. I didn't say that earlier. Yes, I was a summer intern at the DA's office for where I am now. I was interning. I was at my internship doing 40 hours a week, and that was when I found out I was academically dismissed. That was when I found out. And let me tell you guys, I remember when I gave them I took the withdrawal papers and I filled them out. My mother didn't even know. I filled them out. I took them to Dean Kill's office. He's out of Texas, but now he's here in Alabama. Dean Lane Kill. Yeah. Google him because he's really great. Took him to his office, gave it to him. He ripped it up and gave it back. This is a man that years later I was asking for something and I had gotten pissed and because I was so mad and I was just crying, he was talking to me and I was so disrespectful. I got up and walked away. And let me tell y'all, he knew me so well that he said, Ashley, he said, you get yourself back in this office right now. You don't disrespect me by turning away and walking away. I know that you're hurt and I know that yada yada yada, but let me tell you how this is gonna go. You sit here and listen. Now, I don't like playing the race game, but I'm a little black girl. This was a whole white man.
In the South.
In the South. And he still did it. He still did what needed to be done. When I tried to give up, he gave me my stuff back and told me no. And the one thing that is gonna forever be imprinted in my head. He said, Ashley, he said, do you think if I let you go, you're gonna come back as stressed as you been? What are you gonna do? How are you gonna live up to what Rashad? Because that was my boyfriend's name. How are you gonna live up to what he's always told you if you give up now? Rashad used to send me text messages and say, "Good morning, Attorney Nash." He used to always say, "I'm gonna make you a." This is what he said: "I will make you a damn good prosecutor one day." Crazy thing. That same semester, I had criminal law. I actually had to retake some classes. I got accepted back, retook some classes. I retook criminal law. Retook criminal law. And when I had that's the class I was in. When I came back to school, everyone knew that Rashad was murdered. Okay. My professor pulled me out of one of my classes, pulled me to his office, and he said, Ashley, let's talk about it. And I said, okay. I ran down all the facts that I knew. I said, this person is an accomplice because X, Y, and Z. I want to get her for an accomplice because X, Y, and Z. This person is going to get murdered. This person is going to get murdered. I ran it all down. And he said, hold on. He said, dot. He said, wait a second, Ashley, you're forgetting this. And I said, okay. I was like, okay, so if I'm trying to get her and if I'm trying to get him, this is how I'm going to get them. He did that to me, I believe, because he truly cared. At Faulkner, we actually have professors who truly care. And I can honestly say that I'm actually so grateful for that, because after that conversation that we had when we had that final exam, you know what our exam was on? Accomplices. We essays. And the sad part was that when you actually start learning about accomplices and accomplices after the fact and accessory after the fact, before the fact, and all that stuff, sometimes it can get a little confusing, and it kept being confusing for me. But I can tell y'all I figured that shit out because I applied it to some real life stuff, and I had to pull it out of me, because in my head I said, if I was an attorney prosecuting the people that I want to prosecute, I gotta prove this case, and that's what I did on the exam. So that's just 1 L year to 2 L year. So we're just gonna keep going.
And
3 years
so for you guys who just joined us, sis went to Faulkner Law. Where's Faulkner located at, sis?
in Montgomery, Alabama.
Yeah, we could go there. Yeah, it's safe there. Yeah, black folks is there. And
Oh,
also,
Montgomery is like black attorney. We doing it down here. I can't even think of the phrase. We're
uh-huh.
doing it down here. This is really where it's at.
And, I mean, and the thing about it is, and then also the thing about, so she mentioned something that you guys may not see at other law schools, the second chance program. That means that if you have happened to be academically dismissed, you have an opportunity to be able to petition to get back in. And Faulkner Law, you guys, is on the come up. And you guys need to look up and check them out. Let's see here. Alex said, never been to Alabama. Might have to check out Faulkner.
Oh yeah, Faulkner was actually the last school that I applied to. That's really the funny thing. Faulkner was the last school I applied to. I almost didn't apply, and that was the one school that actually ended up changing my life.
And so
I'm actually grateful
the thing,
that I went there.
and you guys, it's the power of having an open mind. Because sis, you weren't from Alabama. Where you from, sis?
I'm actually from Virginia.
See? So we have to have an open mind. I'm sure her family, cousins, and kinfolk said, you about to go where? You about
Right.
to go to Alabama? Hold on now. But we have to have an open mind, you guys. There's so many opportunities out there if we open our mind and see what's out there. You got people over here adding Faulkner to the list right now. I love it. And so continuing with our story, y'all. So I want you guys to be able to understand, man, ain't nothing part of this journey easy. The easiest thing to do, and it's a sad, you're gonna check this out, right? The easiest thing to do is to hold your hand up when you get sworn in. But everything else before that, oh my God, it's crazy. So I want you guys to understand that those challenges that you're going through right now, those are not things that are disqualifying you from becoming a lawyer. If anything, it's building your muscles, it's building your resilience, it's building you to be able to take those next steps. So we had 2 year. What we going to next is?
So that was 2 year. I'm trying to think. I don't think anything crazy happened 2 year. I can tell you 2 years. 2 years when I kind of got
Yeah.
my foot, and I said, "Oh snap! I really am smart. I'm making good grades. I made an A. Oh shoot!" So
Oh,
2 year was when I said, "Oh okay." Now don't get me wrong, the grades are just what the grades are. But at the end of the day, the grades don't make you. Because law school is on the curve. The bar exam is on the curve. So I mean, it just is what it is. But it's not gonna keep you from passing the bar exam. Now, I'm not saying make C's, but I know some people who made C's. Oh, and they passed the bar exam on their first try. I made B's and C's and a few A's, and it took me a few times to pass. Um, yes, I am driven, motivated. Oh, okay, Hispanic, thanks. And but I'm this way because I want y'all to know that sometimes this is all that it takes. This is all that it takes. I'm telling y'all, I can call some people and they'll vouch for me. They'll say, "Oh, Ashley is your girl," only because they know that if I don't know, I'm gonna find
right.
out. I'm gonna figure it out, and I'm gonna keep trying until I get it because that's what we're supposed to do. Um, okay, but anywho, so I get to 3 year. Um, I don't want to take all y'all time tonight,
Oh,
but
hey, check out these chats, man. You know
I
what?
love it.
You,
I love it.
you would be surprised. There's people out there that need this because it's like it's giving them the reminder that, oh, okay, I can do this. It ain't, man. It ain't no. I mean, let's be honest. Sometimes in this game, it's not about it looking pretty. It's about just surviving. Can I survive to get to the next round?
Guys, look, that's my nana right there, Vernon McClaney. Let me let me tell you guys, when I was going through law school, your village is important. If you don't have one, get one. It can be friends, it could be anybody. I hated studying in law school. I did. I hated studying because it was always hard. And let me tell you, they used to make me come home, sit at the kitchen table, and they used to tell me, Ashley, do your work. I used to go to the bedroom and study on Rashad's bed. They'd come in and find me sleep and pick me up and take me to the table. I had to reap them cases. Accountability. Accountability. That works. Okay. So moving on. 3 year. Um so 3 year, right before, let me see. December 2019.
That's right.
Um, it yeah, it was. So we finna have a moment here. So I was picking my classes and realized that you can only because of where my GPA was, which was under a 3.0, I could only take 15, I think 16 credit hours. I could not take the 17 that I needed. So I had to get permission. And so at Faulkner, they have intercession classes, which you take in between both of the semesters. It might be a couple weeks
Yeah, I
long.
remember that.
You could take like a void diary class or something like that. And so crazy thing was that my mom had already booked our flights and our room and everything for us to go to Italy. I realized at that time that I was gonna be 1 credit hour short from graduating.
Uh-oh.
I had to beg and plead, beg and plead. I can't think of his name off the top of my head now. I'm trying to think of it. Professor Dean Campbell. That's who it was. I had to beg and plead. And Dean Campbell, because I went in his, that was when he told me, Ashley, you sit back down and you listen. And I was like, this isn't fair. You guys, I didn't work my butt off, and this is what you're gonna do to me. And I had to explain why it was important that I graduated on time. I did. I wrote a whole letter. It was like I wrote a whole paper. So pretty much I was in Italy, which is a nine, I think it's either 6 or 9 hour time difference from Alabama. I was a visiting student at Saint Maria. I think it's Saint Maria. Yeah, I think it's Saint Maria. No, Ave Maria in out in Florida. It was a visiting student. I took a writing class. So I'm in so I'm in I ended up getting 2 credits for the class, but I only needed one. But I was in Italy, staying up 2 o'clock in the morning, so that if I had questions, I could actually email and call the professor that was over the class, because that was the time that they were up in Florida. Mind you, my mama's paid all this money, so I still got to participate in all the family activities.
Mm-hmm.
I had to sit out some of those days because I had work to do. That's what we call sacrifice. Because the thing about it is this journey is hard. This journey is stressful. You have to sacrifice a lot. But let me tell you this. I sacrificed 5 years. You may not have to sacrifice that long. But let me say this. Them 5 years of sacrifice that I did, I got the rest of my life to turn up and be lit as an attorney and make money and learn and really help people, maybe change the world, maybe become district attorney. Well, I'm coming district attorney, so we know that one.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Nah.
I was just gonna say, yeah, let me change my stuff. We helping people, we becoming district attorney. I done already became a prosecutor. That was step one. I done graduated, so really the sky is the limit. But what I did was I sacrificed. Yeah, she paid all that money, and that was all fine and well. However, I needed to pass the class. I passed the class with exactly what I needed to pass it with, because the class was hard. I passed it with the C plus that I needed to get those 2 credits. But let me tell y'all, because it does not end there. It doesn't end there. We had a rigorous writing class. I was so excited to do it in family law because I love Professor Howell, and it was amazing. But they dropped the class because not enough people signed up. So I was screwed. I had to take gaming for my rigorous writing. And the professor was cool. It was just difficult. And so the way the rigorous writing works is you have to make a C plus or better on the paper. But because I was struggling, and at this time, second semester was during COVID, so we were at home.
Right.
And so because of that, because God finna come full circle for us again. So because of that, hold on, let me get my thought. I got a little excited. Uh, so I'm in the class. I'm not understanding. I'm turning in the outline for my paper, and he's like, "Oh, that's trash. We're doing it again. I got a D on that." So my mini grades leading up to the paper weren't good. I told you I needed a C plus on because the way the policy is, you need a C plus on the paper, not in the class. Okay. So I send the paper in. I didn't even meet the word count, but I was so exhausted that I was just like, he gonna have to take this, and I'm gonna have to get the grade on me. I don't, I don't recommend, but I can tell you, when people genuinely like you, you'd be surprised the lengths that they will go for you. When people really know that you're a hard worker and that you're really trying, when they know that you would never turn in anything that is less than, they will do what they can for you. This man sent me my paper bag and said, Ashley, I think I was maybe 1,000 words off. He said, you got 1,000 more words to write. I'm going to give you a week and a half to do it. And I did it. I added some stuff. At that point, I was trying to add filler words because I just couldn't
A
find nothing
thousand
else.
words.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know how in high school they say you got to read the word count, and so you put the phrases instead of being concise. At that point, that's what it had gotten to. But I ended up getting. I rem, Let me tell y'all. I remember crying in the bed, going, "Dang, I'm a fail. I'm not gonna make it." Because at this point, this was the only thing that was gonna keep me from passing, and I was just like, God, it ain't no way that I've jumped over every hurdle, and then you drop me, here. And I'm gonna say this because I done told y'all to be your authentic selves and let people know who you are and what you want to do. That day, I turned my paper in. Literally, the day I got my grade for my paper, before I got it, I didn't know that was the day we were getting the grades. I cried and cried and cried. The girl was crying, sitting in the dark, listening to some broken up love songs. That's really what it was. I went to sleep. I had a dream because that's what Martin Luther King dream said. His birthday is right before mine, so. But I had a dream. God gave me a vision, and on that day, I saw myself in my dream announcing that I was running for district attorney. And that was the day that I said, I gotta pass because that mean I'm gonna become an attorney. That mean I gotta graduate. And lo and behold, I opened up my thing on my app, and I saw that I made. Now don't get me wrong, I got a D in the class. I got a D. I got maybe a D or a D plus. It was one of them. But nevertheless, I got a D in the class, but I got that C plus on that paper, and that was what I needed. And that what that told me was that he wasn't gonna mess me up and fail me and cause me to not graduate.
Right.
Those are what you call people who care. That's what you call people who care. And you know what? And let me go back. Let me say this. My 1L year when Rashad died, I had a teacher. Her name is Ashley Hamlet. And it was funny because we always talked about us having the same name. I didn't have to. She told me 1L year that actually wasn't one of the classes I didn't do good in. I actually got a B plus in that class. And so during the second semester, she realized that I was struggling. And then when Michael died, since Michael died first, she realized how bad I was struggling. She said, Ashley, I'm gonna talk to the dean and see if we can let you drop this class after the fact, and you can just, do it next year because I really can see how bad you're struggling. Again, people who care, people who you have talked to, you have let them know who you are, they see you for who you are, and they want to help you. One thing I can say is that some of the people at Faulkner really had my back. They really looked out for me. I know exactly who those people are, and I can drop them names to y'all if I need to. Because that is probably one of the most pivotal things coming out of Faulkner that was done for me was when I needed them, they were really there for me. You may not get, now I don't know because I didn't go to a huge school, but you may not get that at a huge school. But I can tell you, in my graduating class, we had 65 people. We had 65 people. Now, don't get me wrong. I believe 10 people, I believe we came in with probably about 75. I think 10 people didn't leave out with us. But that's okay. It happens. But I say that to say, just make sure that y'all talk to people and that you talk to your professors because you never know what happened. Oh, and another thing that I forgot. 1L because I'm forgetting stuff now. 1L year. Um, I had my property final right before finals week. Oh, me and Rashad had got into it. I mean, I was in school, but we had got into an argument. I thought we was breaking up and all that great stuff. So I was stressed in my love life and stressed at school too. All that stress, I had Bell's palsy. Y'all can look up Bell's palsy, but nevertheless, it comes from stress. And this whole right side of my face, I could not move. You probably can see the difference when I smile now. And so because of that, I had to go to the doctor because I was concerned. I thought something was wrong, and I missed my property final. Um, they let me make that up. My contracts professor. I literally was sitting on the exam, and I love contracts. I was sitting on the exam, and I started to not be able to see out of my right eye, and I had gotten so discouraged, and I was just so pissed at myself because I'm a Nash. I'm better than that. Hey, Ricky. Like I'm better than that. That I turned my paper in and got up and left. I made a C minus in the class. I left 2 whole essays blank, and I had about 10 multiple choice questions that I did not answer. But because I was in the second chance program, if you make a C minus or less, you have to retake the class. And the one thing he said again, because closed mouths don't get fed, he said, "Actually, you should have got up and said something, and we could have accommodated you for that."
Hold on. Say that part again. Closed mouths don't what?
Get fed. Open up your mouth and say something. Whether it's you needing help with the LSAT, I actually got people for that. If you need help with applications, we got a person for that right here. If you need help with doing outlines and briefing, I got people for that. Hell, I'm a person right here who can help you. If you need help with bar prep when it comes, I got you on that. I know a lot of people who got you on that. You have to open up your mouth and tell people that you need help because everybody's not like me. I go back to my law school now because I live right up the street. I go back to my law school now, and when I see them in the library, I go, "Hey, do you need outlines? Do you need something? Is it something that you don't understand?" Because now that I've taken the bar exam, I understand things way better than what I did in law school. And I can tell y'all, if I had the understanding from bar prep, if I had that same understanding in law school,
Was long?
then people wouldn't have been able to step on me. Do you hear me? I would have been a bad chick. Okay. But I had my struggles. But I say all that to say, yeah, if y'all ain't struggle worse than this, then that means that you can make it. Because here and behold, you see the struggle, and I've made it, and I ain't even got to the bar exam part. We haven't even gotten to the bar exam part. But just to make that one quick, I took the bar exam because we're gonna skate through this one. I took the bar exam 4 times. I took it 4 times. The first time I went, I made a 127. The second time I made a 124. Um, the let me see. The third time, I can't remember what the score was, but I was 6 points off. And let me tell you why doubting yourself and talking negative about yourself will, excuse my language. I'm sorry, y'all. This is why it's gonna fuck y'all up. And I want to be real. I'm sorry, Grandma. Um, but I'm keeping it. I want to keep it straight with y'all. No chasing. Now, of course, this is not professional Ashley. This is y'all are talking to just Ashley. I didn't change clothes, so I'm regular Ashley now. This is this is why the list got leaked at like 2 o'clock in the morning, the day before it was supposed to come out. I called my best friend Noel. I said, "Dang, bro," I said, "what if we didn't pass?" And she said, "I don't know, Ashley. I hope we pass, but girl, what if we did?" I said, "Man, I'm telling you right now, if I didn't pass, I probably missed it by like 5 or 6 points." And she said, and I'm thinking I missed it by one. So we looked at the list, found out we didn't pass because we called that, right? A few days later, we get the information in the thing. You know how many points I missed it by? 6. You know how many points Noel Silverman missed it by? 1. Because your tongue is powerful. Your mind is powerful. Let me tell you guys, skip that. 4th time, we're taking the bar exam. I talked her into taking the bar exam. She wasn't even gonna take it again. But I needed me a partner. So I took it again. And let me say this, for the people who are taking the bar exam, if you can't afford to retake or whatever, let me tell you this. These law firms out here, become an intern. And let me tell you what they need. They need write-offs. Asking people to pay for your application. Asking people to pay for your bar prep. I don't know. I worked for my attorney for 2.5 years. I don't know why I didn't ask her. I asked her that last time, and you know what she did? Cut the check. I told my best friend Noel, I said, bro, she said, Ashley, I can't afford it. And I didn't have the money to give her. I said, man, go ask somebody. She asked her boss. They paid their bar application fee. Our application fee was almost $800 and some dollars. Paid. Paid in a write-off. Simple. All you got to do is ask. They might not. Now, don't get me wrong. They probably not telling people, oh, we'll pay for this, we'll pay for that. But I asked. I made an agreement. She didn't make me hold up to the agreement. She didn't. She didn't make me hold up to the agreement because she genuinely loves me. This is one woman that I owe her almost everything to. She didn't tell me almost everything I know about family law, but she didn't hold me to my agreement. I told her I agreed to work with her for 1 year after I passed the bar exam. But when the opportunity came for me to apply at the DA's office and they had a spot, she said, Ashley, I know that that's what your whole life you wanted to do. She said, I'm not even going to hold you back. She said, you've repaid me 10 times over just being the good employee that you been.
Wow.
Yeah. And so, but anywho, that bar exam, let me tell y'all what Noelle got me for Valentine's Day. She got me a rose and she got me a picture frame. Let me see if I can. On this picture frame, it says Alabama State Bar, February 2022 bar exam pass list. That's my name 10 times. Every person that I help doing bar prep, I give them one of these.
Wow.
After I realize that they've been struggling, so that they can look at it every day. I looked at this every day. Every day after Valentine's Day. Every day I looked at this. Those are the kind of things. Let me see. I got this one right here. I still keep these things on the wall. It says Ashley Nash ESQ, Noelle Stillman ESQ, February 2022 in Jesus' name. This is just a daggone piece of paper. This piece of paper is still sitting on my wall. And I'm trying to tell y'all, don't get me wrong. Faith without work is dead. You have to do the work. You definitely have to do the work. But when you doing the work and sometimes it's still not shaking like you need it to, that manifestation, the fasting, all of it's gonna work. Let me tell y'all, another thing. I fasted from meat for 105 days. Now I've done the Daniel fast. You know, I fasted with my church before. You fast with a purpose.
Yeah.
I think I was just doing the Daniel fast because the church was doing it. I'm gonna be completely honest. But I fasted 105 days with no meat while I was studying for the bar exam, all the way up until I found that I got my results.
Wow.
And I'm just gonna be honest. Look at what it did. I'm a very half empty kind of person. The cup is half empty. That's just me. That's who I am. I like to keep things real. But I can tell you this: Noelle hates that I talk negative all the time. And I said, you know what? I gotta change the way I'm thinking, but it's hard to do. I said, and this was my phrase, and I hope that y'all adopt this every time you think negative, because I ain't never seen this man on earth. I said, if I see the devil on this side of earth, because I ain't never seen him with my two eyes, and I fail the bar exam again, I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z. That's what I kept saying, and it's just because sometimes I know I can be negative like that. I actually found out that I had ADD. There's a place called ADR, Alabama Rehabilitative Center, or something like that. You can go and get it done for free. I didn't have insurance in law school, and the whole time the place right up the street, and I could have got it done for free. Who knew? And so anybody who needs to know, please DM me, and I'm gonna let y'all know. We can try to find y'all a place. it can freely be done. I found out I had ADD, and she said something about my processing may be slower sometimes when I'm having to write, because when I talk, I can come up with an argument all day long. I really can't finesse it. It's the writing that sometimes is a struggle, even though I'm a decent writer. But the thing about it is that on the bar exam, you got 30 minutes for each essay, and you got 6 essays. They don't tell you what subject you're writing about. You got to figure all that out, just like if a client came to your office. They really want you to be incompetent on the bar exam. That's really what they're asking. Because if you do that in practice, you might lose your license. But I can tell you this: you're gonna be the smartest attorney you've ever been the day you sit down and take that bar exam. I can tell you that. But so let me say this to just to kind of close this all up. I took the bar exam 4 times. I already told y'all what scores I made. Your girl was just trying to pass. I'm so serious. I'm just trying to pass. I couldn't. I was decent at the not the NPREs, the
MEE.
what are they called?
The MEE.
No, the NPTs. I was decent at the NPTs. That was something that I could do, but it was always like one good and one bad. 7 days before the exam, I had a breakdown because I did one and it sucked. And my breakdown was so bad that I called my mom and told her. That was the first time she ever heard me say I couldn't do it. My mom knows that when she sees me cry, it's a problem because I don't allow people to see me cry. I told her I couldn't do it. I told her I want to push my score. My best friend looked me in my face and said, "Ashley, God told me that we can't. Neither one of us is gonna pass if we don't pass together." She said, "Ashley, I can't do this without you. You can't leave me to take this exam by myself." And I said, "Dang, I did talk her into taking this exam." And so I sucked it up. We looked at some more stuff. I ended up doing good. And when I ended up doing good, I said, "Oh my God." Because that's all you need is to see. You don't have to prove it to nobody else. You just have to prove it to yourself that you're capable. And once you see that you're capable, you're going to be like, "Oh, yeah, I got this." And I remember those two NCBE, they had just dropped those 200 multiple choice questions. In 2022. They had just dropped those brand new ones. So I split it up and I did 100 at a time. When I hit 70% on that first 100, I said, "Oh my God." I said, "God, I know you're not trying to tell." Like, I feel, it's crazy. I feel how I felt then when I had got that 70% on that first 100. And I was just like, God, I know you playing. Is this you telling me that, girl, you got to be an Esquire? Like, that's really what it gave me. And took the bar exam. Or let me say this: so when you have your application or whatever, they make you go in and answer these little questions to make sure that your system work and all of that. I won't read y'all my prayer. Anybody who wants my prayer, let me know. I have it on my phone. I typed an 8-paragraph prayer and I put it into every question box. And the morning of our exam, I did not tell Noel, but the morning of our exam, we were in the hotel, and I said, "Noel, I said, before we walk in there, I want you to know what my prayer was." And I read her my prayer, and I said, "And with that being said, it's time for us to kick ass." And I left it at that. We had our prayer, and we walked in, and we always sit where we can see each other, cause that's how our names line up. And it seemed like every time I had a question that looked familiar, it was like I would look at her and she would look at me. It was almost like we knew we was on the same question, and we was just smiling at each other and just kind of kept going. So we get out the exam. I waited all those weeks, and we get the scores back. She calls me and goes, "Ashley, the scores are out." And I said, "Oh my God, oh my God." And no, not even. So no. After we took the bar exam, we had to take the NPRE again. That's what it was. That's not that hard. It's just professional responsibility. So we took that again. 7 days before bar exam results came out. We took the NPRE a week after the bar exam. So imagine how stressed we were and how tired we were of studying
Right.
and had to study again. But we studied again. 7 days before the bar exam results came out, our NPRE results came out. The first time I took the NPRE, I made an 84. So I had already had a passing score, but because it expired, I had to take it again. I made a 99, y'all. Now, ordinarily, they should excite somebody. I felt like I had failed so many times, I was afraid to get excited. Looking back, that was God's way of showing me, baby girl, it's time to get excited for what I'm about to do for you. I was on Instagram. If y'all go to my page and look at I think it's Alabama Bar Pass or something like that, my little thing at the top. On there, I tried to add more to it. You will see some of the posts that I made when I was studying. Um but that whole week I was on Instagram, and you know how you just follow a lot of pages and you just see stuff?
Yeah.
Every time I saw something that I was like, dang, that was for us, I sent it to Noel. And I said, bro, check this. I remember driving, listening to gospel songs. Like they were just like ones I had heard in forever. Record it, send it to Noel. And like it was, looking back, it was all hyping me up, but I was still afraid to get hyped. My girl called me. She said, Ashley, because she was crying. She was like, Ashley, I'm passed. And I said, oh my God, I'm so happy for you. I was like, oh my God, Noel, what if I fail? She said, girl, don't say that. You should go look. I said, is my name on the list? She said, I'm not looking at the list. I'm looking at the email. I said, okay, I'm going to go look. I opened up that email and screamed. I absolutely screamed. I walked outside my house and screamed. Them folks didn't know why I was screaming. And I walked back in the house. Let me tell y'all, my mom was deployed in 2022. So when I got my results, my mom was still deployed. I called Miss Mary Pretty Nash, YN1 in the Navy, and I FaceTimed her and I said, Mom, I passed. Well, at first I had said, Mom, I got some bad news. I did one of those. And she said, what's the bad news? And I said, my letter says, and then I read it and screamed I passed. Y'all, the girl was driving. She didn't close her eyes and took her hands off the wheel, talking about some yay. I said, put your hands back on the wheel. Like, but and so this was the thing, was that when you pass, you don't usually see your breakdown. But the end of this story, the important part was the score that I got. I kept failing. Let me even re-say that. At some point, I realized that it's just a stupid exam, and as long as I can come up with the money, and depending on the jurisdiction you in, I'm gonna take it and take it, and I'm gonna take it again until I pass. And after that third time, I said, or while I was studying the fourth time, I said, you know what, Ashley, don't forget so quickly that God showed you that vision. You will never get there unless you succeed in this step. And so I took some of the stress off, just knowing that if I need to take it again, I'll just take it again. And that's what I did. I instead of telling myself, Ashley, you failed, even when people would ask me, I would say I didn't pass. Not I failed, because you didn't fail. Because remember what I said at the beginning of this. Judge Johnny Hardwick has always said, nothing is wasted. Nothing is wasted. And so I didn't fail. I just didn't pass. And when I look down at that score, because there were so many people that I think were talking about how I didn't pass. But when I looked down at that score, I needed a 260 for the state of Alabama. I made a 280. So much so that Dean Campbell made a phone call to one of the justices, Myron Thompson, here in Montgomery, Alabama, whose courtroom is the same courtroom that had Martin Luther King Jr. and Rosa Parks. He made a phone call, and I swore into Alabama's the federal district right there with that judge and sat down and talked to him. A 280. That 280 gonna take me as long as I, look at the other states and do it within the allotted time. I'm transferring everywhere. So let me say this: while y'all sitting at home talking about how y'all struggling, I'm over here a licensed attorney. Where you need to be, where you can be, where you will be. You just have where you will be. You just have to remember. You have to remember. It's a journey. Somebody, and you know what? The guy, it was a guy named Brandon. I can't think of Brandon's last name. He actually toured me around the school. When I toured Faulkner, he always said, "You gotta trust the process." And that's the great thing about having faith and just being aware. Yes, Myron Thompson. I don't know if he's from Indiana. I'll look and see. But that's the thing. That's the great thing about trusting the process is that God gives his hardest battles to his strongest warriors. Yeah. But even catch this: the fact that he even giving you that means that he trusts you enough to handle it, get through it, and help somebody else along the way. All those times that I was studying for the bar exam and I wasn't passing, let me tell y'all, I wrote on my mirror in red lipstick. It says, Ashley T. Nash, who do you help? Well, no, that's not what it said. It says, who do you help if you give up now? Love Rashad McClaney. Because I always felt like that was something he would always say to me. So I had to remind myself all the dreams and things that I have in this world that I really want to do. I can't help a damn soul if I give up where I'm at. Even now with me just being in a child support unit, if I give up now, I'm still not gonna make it to where I need to get to. But the great thing about it is that God has already set our purpose. He's already set your life up. So he already knows really what you're gonna become. And he gives us grace to allow us to make the mistakes that we need to make so that we can learn and become better until we get to our purpose. He's just giving us the grace to help us in the meantime.
I literally wrote down what you just said. Who can you help if you give up now? Hey, man.
Yeah.
This has been an amazing. And I hope you guys were able
to... Look at this. Anthony, look at this. This was gifted to me for graduation. Or not for graduation, when I passed the bar exam. It says District Attorney Ashley Nash. And so it sits nowhere. I don't have it at work. It says right here in this office at home. Because that's the end goal. That's the end goal. And so I just want y'all to know that, number one, closed mouths don't get fed, so you say something. If you need motivation, hit my page, hit my line, reach out. The schools whatever the schools y'all want to go to, after some time, call them and talk to them. Talk to them. Do continued interest. Oh, and let me drop a tidbit. So y'all didn't hear it from me. This is recorded. Ooh, that JD Next program, that's gonna help you. You didn't hear it from me. It's gonna help you. It's gonna help. Read between those lines and take it as you will. But like, know people. Don't be afraid to speak up for yourself, because the thing about it is that nobody can sell you better than you. If anybody asks me, your girl can do it. If they said, Ashley, if I was in private practice and they said I need an EEOC attorney, I'm gonna say I got you. Now, is your girl really gonna know how to do it? No, I'm gonna look up the laws like everybody else. I'm gonna reach out to some people and I'm gonna help you as best I can. Now, obviously, I'm gonna stay within my professional rules of responsibility to make sure I'm being ethical and all that great stuff. But my point is that sometimes you fake it till you make it. Especially like going through school and like going through the LSAT. Like even if you have to trick your mind to help you go in the direction that you need to go. This whole thing is a mindset. You don't have to be the smartest person in the world to pass law school. You don't have to be the smartest person in the world to pass the bar exam. Let me tell you, the bar exam is curved, but if you sit back and do the numbers, because your girl did, because I needed to for my sanity, pat a 260, which is passing for Alabama, that's a D average. Now, it shouldn't be no D average, because I knew a whole heck of a lot on that day, but it's a D average. That should tell y'all something. So for those that are in law school, when you get that C, little bro, little sis, let me say this. That C in law school is really like a B plus or an A in college. Don't be so hard on yourselves. Give yourselves grace. But overall, don't give up, because the thing about it is that let me say this, because I think this one is most important for me. I'm still having to remind myself of this. Remember, I told y'all, Noelle and I talked about having no doubt, not doubting ourselves, not literally on multiple choice, not second guessing ourselves, because I came up with a system to see how many times I second guessed myself on the multiple choice, and to see how many times I got it right versus getting it wrong. And my first choice was always the right one, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now I didn't got into practice. I'm 18 months in, but in the beginning, I was scared and still second guessing myself, and wasn't doing that great because I was second guessing myself. But when I put on my persona, I guess it's my courtroom persona. I really don't know. I'm just a different person. I guess I become Attorney Nash. Persona, and I'm who I need to be, and there is no doubt. Even now, when I'm facing obstacles where I'm unsure, I have to tell myself, Ashley, you have learned this lesson. You showed God that you learned this lesson. You showed everybody around you that you learned this lesson, and that was to not doubt yourself. That is why you passed the bar exam. Continue to not doubt yourself. And when I have those doubts, I remind myself, Ashley, stop doubting yourself. You can do this. You literally have made it. At this point, it's about learning the skill and perfecting it and becoming better, and then learning the loopholes and the rules of evidence so that you can really get some of these older attorneys that feel like they just know how it goes. But the thing, and let me say this, and the thing about it is this: even if, because I just feel like I got a lot to say, even if you don't know everything, one thing I can tell you is this: you can outwork a motherfucker real quick. And I'm just gonna keep it real. Even in law school, when somebody, because the people thought I was smart, they thought I was smart, so I was talking to class. I made bad grades, and they was like, "Oh, she might not be that smart." Okay, we make it to 2 year. Remember when I told y'all I made all those great grades? People had already counted me out. People had already thought less than, maybe. I won't say they did, but I that's my opinion. I think that some people did. People already was talking about, oh, she might not make it. But want me to tell you what I did? While they became comfortable and complacent, there's a book on complacency. You should Google it. I don't know who wrote it, but it's an orange book. Being complacent will stop everything in your life. But I can tell you this: I may not have been the smartest. I can tell you I outworked them. I can tell you that when I did my oral argument, I got a 100 perfect score because I outworked my opponent.
And
Outworking you will
that's
get
pure.
you where you need to go.
That's a choice that you have to be able to make. And I want you guys to understand that's a choice that literally is made from the beginning, and understanding and accepting the challenges that come along the way. Sis, man, you done blessed us. You
And
done blessed us.
I need y'all to go on Google and Google GRIT. GRIT. Learn what it stands for. Put it on your wall. Put it in your phone. Tell people how you got gumption, how you got tenacity, how you have integrity, and how you have resilience. I said them out of order, but y'all get the point.
But sis,
Those things are what make you.
but sis,
Y'all can do this.
thank you so much. I hope you guys understood that literally you're talking to one of one. And also, what she tried to let you guys know is that you could be one of one too. For you guys who are looking for this live, of course, we're going to post it as soon as tomorrow. And also, of course, you'll be able to find it on the YouTube channel. So make sure you like and subscribe to that. Sis, as I always do, I want to give you, Alex said thank you. Sis, I want to give you a final word. What's one final word of motivation or encouragement that you want to give to somebody else out there who's fighting for their lawyer dreams? Close this out strong, sis.
If you can't do it, who can? Simple. Nobody can do it. Nobody can do it but you.
Mm.
If you give up on yourself, everybody else will give up on you. So you can't give up on yourself. You have to keep pushing. When the door is closed, don't be hurt because the door closed. It just wasn't meant to be. Because and I just seen this today. When the door closed, look for the windows. Because I'm being honest, because that's where you're gonna make it through. The Sharp, the sports
Shannon
guy. Uh,
Sharp.
yes. When I think he got fired. I don't know what happened, but when he stopped working at the place that he was working at, what happened? Windows open. That door closed, but windows open. He got a podcast. He got all those other avenues simply because the door closed. Sometimes the door closing is the blessing in and of itself. That's what you have to remember. When you have to change your perspective on things. When things are negative, when you're looking at it in a negative light, that's just what it's going to be. Take all of those bad things and flip your perspective and see the good in it.
Mm.
You weren't meant to be there, but when you get to where you're meant to be, watch yourself blow up. But Anthony, don't forget, we got something we got to drop for them. We need them to know something.
Oh, you want to tell them that? You
Oh,
want
you
to
can
tell them?
tell them. You
Go
can
ahead, you
tell them.
tell them. I'll be quiet. You tell them. Go ahead.
Okay, guys. Connection, connections. My 3L year, there was a guy. His name's Jonathan Morgan. I was a one, or his 3L year. His name's Jonathan Morgan. I was a 1L. He was great. He helped me while I was in school. So he goes on. He becomes a prosecutor, and I'm studying for the bar exam. He's giving me encouragement. Well, now he's no longer with the DA's office because he wanted to be an admissions director. And where is he admissions director at? Faulkner Law. And because I just am who I am and I just love to help people, I went and saw him today actually. In person. He was how God works. He actually wasn't even there. And while I was leaving, he pulled up. And I said, well, hey, look, I got this guy, Anthony Denmark, he has this show, Making the Case. And I want to see if you will do a Q&A with the future lawyers so that they can get some of their answers directly from you. And he said, Ashley, you always bother me. I said, I know, but that's my job. That's what friends do. And I said, please. And he said, yes, anything for you. And so, with that being said, at some point in time, y'all are going to have the admissions director, the head person for admissions, on making the case for your lawyer dreams here so that y'all can ask them any questions you need to ask. Do not waste that
Y'all
opportunity.
heard
I'll post my LinkedIn on my page on my Instagram. Because I'm sure it's my name, but I'm not sure. But this is me telling you, do not waste that opportunity. If you don't think that you have good questions, get your ass on Google and find some good questions to
right.
ask. Because the thing about it is that you can't ask questions about something that you don't know much about. Our executive program is one of the best. One of the best. We were actually just named in the I think in the ABA magazine for our executive program. And let me tell y'all, the majority of it is online, and every other Saturday you have class. It's just like regular law school. I think they do it in
Yeah.
4 years instead of 3.
Yeah.
Full time job. Y'all can make it happen. Do not waste that opportunity because it was a favor I had to use. And I don't like to use my favorites all the time, guys. But I would use my favorites for any of y'all that I thought that I could help. If I thought that I could get something done that could help y'all, I would do it. And that's what I use my favor on. And so I want y'all to take advantage of that. And whenever Anthony lets y'all know when it is, I need y'all to show up and show out because you do not always get the opportunity to sit down and talk to the admissions director. Not only is he the admissions director, he is an alumni of the school. He just graduated not that long ago. Yes. So he's one of the perfect people to ask any and all your questions about. And he has real life experience. So that's always a plus too. But yeah, so I hope that y'all are happy with that. I hope that you guys have enjoyed my story and I don't really care that you enjoyed the story. I really hope that you took the motivation that I gave you. And I wanna show y'all this. Y'all saw it in my my hi, I'm attorney Ashley Nash. But this was my first year doing the vision board. This is who I'm gonna be one day. This one right here. That's Loretta Lynch. I have win the day because that's my love's that's his foundation slogan. Win the day. Win today, win tomorrow, win every day, 365. I put on here before I took the bar exam, I passed the Alabama bar exam. Attorney Ashley T. Nash, ESQ. And my scriptures were Matthew 7:7. Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will open. AKA closed mouths don't get fed. Galatians 6:9. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Do not give up. Continue doing good. You will reap the harvest if you do that. Psalms 37:4. Right now. Delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. I had another one. Oh, and then I had Jeremiah 29:11. Y'all should know that one though. And if you don't, Google it. But put it on your wall and all of that. But and you know what I put right here? Making history. The best is yet to come. Purpose, because I'm trying to find my purpose. And I want to go to Dubai. But and remember this while you guys are and let me say this. Be careful what you pray for because for those are out there that have prayers, be careful what you pray for because prayer is powerful and sometimes you can pray for things and you been got something that you thought you was praying for one thing and I remember when I prayed for patience. That was the dumbest prayer I could have prayed. I prayed for patience and it took me 4 times to pass the bar exam. But I will tell you this. I told God to give me the desires of my heart. And what I realized is that there's divine order in everything. And so your timing might not be the time. But when God's timing pop up, it's always the right time. And I can tell y'all, because let me say this, if I had passed on the first time, I was going to be the shit. I'm just going to be real. It wasn't going to be nothing you could tell me. I'm really not cocky. I'm more confident, but my cockiness was going to hit. If I had passed on the first try, all the mentees that I have helped pass the bar exam, I wouldn't have been able to tell them what I've been able to tell them to encourage them. If I had passed on the first try, I would not be sitting here able to give y'all my true and authentic testimony on how I made it through to show y'all that y'all can make it through too. Don't get me wrong. Passing on the first try, that's great. That's great. Everybody ain't able. But I can tell you, I appreciate my struggle. Yeah. And I'm grateful for my struggle because what I realize is that, that big dream that I got at the end, this big struggle had a purpose. purpose. It had a purpose. And when I get there, I know that there's going to be another big struggle. I know that I'm going to start meeting people who may not want to help me, who may want to say bad things about me or whatever, because it's politics. But I've experienced some of that already. So now, God gave me something in the past for me to be able to look back to when I need to, so that I can see how I'm supposed to do stuff.
Absolutely.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing with school. However you studied when you were in school, as long as it was successful, don't change that. Do what works for you. Yes, get advice, but remember do what works for you. You know you the best. I don't know you the best.
Right.
You know you the best. But I'm just gonna end this with this. Now that y'all done sat on this live, Anthony better not tell me somebody said, "Oh, I can't do it," because I'm gonna have a problem. We're gonna have to stop. We're gonna have to stop everything and make a phone call. We're gonna have to get y'all together. But I want y'all to know this: somebody's counting on you, and I say this with everything in me that I can say. Somebody is counting on you, no matter what type of attorney that you want to be. Somebody is counting on you. If you want to be a sports agent and be one of those type of attorneys like my best friend Noel, it's an athlete that need to change his life and his family life, and they're depending on you in the future to become the attorney that you need to be, so that you can help sign them and get them the deal they need. If you want to be a public defender, or if you want to work for the Innocence Project, because that's something that I still want to do in my life, even though I want to be district attorney. It's somebody that's on death row that doesn't have anybody fighting for them, and they're innocent, because sometimes that happens. If you give up now, you won't be able to help them, and their life will be gone. Remember that. Don't give up, because they need you. It's people in your family looking up to you. I didn't even know it was people that was looking up to me. People have told me I have gone back to school because I've seen what you've done, Ashley, and I can do it too. I was talking to a Kaplan lady on the phone, and she was, I want to go to law school, but girl, you work for Kaplan. If you don't get your ass in school, go to law school. So just remember, somebody in the future is depending on you to make this dream happen, so that you can help them. You can't help them if you never make it, but you truly, really and truly have to believe in yourself, put in the work, sacrifice just a little bit. If you can go back, would you have studied differently for the LSAT? Yes. The first time I took the LSAT, I actually took it on a whim to see what I was gonna make. I made a 141. The second time I took it, I made a one. I think that's when I made my 143. I think that was when I made my 143. I did it while I was working. I actually took a program. My mom paid for a program called Test Masters. I need structure. That's how I learn better that way. So I needed to be in a classroom. Um, and and the last time I made a 144, yes, I would have done it better. I would have I think I would have studied more. I would have gave it more of what I had. I honestly can, looking back, I honestly can tell y'all I did not give it everything that I thought I could. Your girl could have did better and got scholarships, in all honesty. And truth be told, y'all ain't gonna hear me say this again. And dang, this is recorded, so it's gonna be there. But I'm not even gonna front to y'all. I gave up, and I said, you know what? I know I'm supposed to be an attorney. I topped out a little bit. I said, I know I'm supposed to be an attorney, so I'm just gonna go ahead and go to school, and somebody gonna let me in. That I fell back on that, because that's me. Should I have done that? No. I really should have tried again, because now my mama helping me pay these student loans that she don't have to help me pay. Like, and I'm a lot in debt. Um, so I would certainly do it over. I honestly think I would do law school over a little bit. Because now I know that The Ashley that works is not always my best self.
Right.
And I was so stressed out that I worked myself on the ground and I got Bell's palsy. And it didn't do any good. And so I got to the point to where if I didn't feel like studying, I just didn't. If I got called on and it was wrong or I didn't know the answer, I just didn't know that day. Now, granted, that never actually happened. But I'm just saying that, at the end of the day, we're people. And your professor should understand that. They're adults just like y'all are, just like we're all adults. Everybody has family. Everybody have lives. Lives. And so, what I would have done differently is taken my ADD seriously and actually looked into it like I should have. Because all I did was the first step, and when the first step didn't give me the answer I needed, I immediately just went back to school and did schoolwork. But don't over don't overwork yourself, because you don't have to overwork yourself to make the dream come true at all. But overall, don't give up. Somebody needs you. Hell, I might need to call on you one day because of your specialty. I need y'all to be able to answer the phone when your girl call, so that I can say, y'all remember when we did this? Girl, I need a favor. Can you help me with this? I need to be able to call you. But more importantly, somebody out there needs help. Somebody out there needs whatever the specialty is that you're going to specialize in. And in order to get there, you can't give up. You have to believe in yourself. Know that y'all can do this. Everybody needs to be writing their name and ESQ on a piece of paper and putting it somewhere. Y'all need to be screaming to the top of your lungs what you want to do. Tell people, because when people know what you want to do, people like me, when I find out what people want to do, I go, oh, dang, I know somebody who can help you with that. And I instantly go and make a connection. You never know. You never know. What made me get evaluated? My professor. She said something my 1L year, and really I took the bar exam 3 times and I was tired of taking it. And I told my mom, I said, for the life of me, I can't figure out why I know the law. I can explain the law backwards and forwards to you when I'm talking to you, and I can't get this shit on paper. And I went and got tested and figured out why. My anxiety is through the roof. And even in studying for the bar exam, I had to figure out how every time my anxiety got too high and I got nervous, my mind went blank.
Yeah.
I had to figure out, in the moments when that happened, what am I gonna do? Because the time is still clicking. And so I put myself in like a testing room when I practice, so that I could figure out how to recover faster than what I had been recovering. Those are the things that in law school on a bar exam, it sounds stupid, but those are the things that you can
Right.
control. You practice those things. I said, um the law school mentor Yoshi on Instagram, he gave me some advice. 30 minutes, it goes by fast. He had me set my timer on my phone 30 minutes from the time I woke up to the time I went to bed. Every 30 minutes, the timer went off. And let me tell you, I started to contemplate when the timer was going to go off. And then I realized that, wait a second, now my body knows how long 30 minutes is. So
Oh,
now I know how long I'm thinking about something. When I'm writing, I can look up at the time and go, okay, I know where I'm at. I'm right on task. It's a mental
wow.
thing.
Wow. And
It's a
Yoshi,
mental thing.
and we're gonna have Yoshi on a little bit later next month. So he's gonna drop some gems too. But sis, thank you so much, y'all. Sis, thank you so much, y'all. Like she said, man, at the end of the day, if y'all still feeling defeated, we need to have an intervention. So you gonna follow her on Instagram, follow me. We're here to help you guys win. You are not alone on this journey. We are here with you. We're continue to send prayers and positive vibes your way. Thank you again, Ashley. Thank you again, everybody out there. Peace and
Thanks
blessings.
for having
And we'll
me.
see y'all next Wednesday. Peace and blessings, y'all.